All right, I am back again with another reading of the Tao Te Ching, the original, and also the one for parents, okay, on Instagram Live, and also will be posted on my YouTube channel. Today we are reading chapter or poem 11. Let's get to it. 30 spokes are joined together in a wheel, but it is the central hole that allows the wheel to function. We mold the clay into a pot, but it is the vacuum inside that makes the vessel useful. We manufacture wood for a house, but it is the inner emptiness that makes it habitable. We work with substance, but the vacuum is what we use. Okay, a little out there. We'll see how William Martin makes it a little more generic, the still point. Okay, so now I'm reading the Tao Te Ching, which is the original thing that I wanted to read to everyone because it is incredible wisdom for parents, no matter the age of your children. But what I will say is it's always nice to read the original as well, and then we can talk about it. So let's read poem number 11, which is titled The Still Point. A wheel spins in a circle. The still point at the center gives it direction. Be still. And your children will see the way ahead. A pot has beautiful sides. The emptiness inside makes it useful. Empty yourself of agenda, and you will be available for your children. A good house has strong walls. The space within the walls makes it a home. Create space within your heart, and your children will always rest secure. Okay. I'm so thankful for William Martin, who really helps to make the wonderful words and wisdom from the Tao Te Ching really digestible for and applicable for parents. So thank you for that. Now, as you know, there's a little blurb or insights that he has, and then of course I will share mine as well. So this is what he's saying. Suggesting, guiding, teaching, and lecturing, although well-intentioned, often creates confusion rather than clarity. Are you filling the air with good advice and helpful strategies when you should be still, empty, and spacious? So good. Oh my gosh. Okay, so a couple of things that I want to share here. Actually, I just got off of my weekly group coaching call, which happens every Thursday. It used to be Fridays, but now it's happening every Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern. And we were just talking about when we lecture our kids and what to do instead, or when our partner lectures our kid and what to do instead. And it's a tough one, right? Because when we lecture, we're often in that mindset of we're not in our frontal lobe, first of all. We're usually in our amygdala or midbrain, and we're going on a bit of a tyrant of something, or maybe we're trying to teach our child something and trying to get the lesson sorted out. That usually doesn't work, especially if you have a strong-willed kid. It most definitely won't work. So we talked about in the group call today, we talked about how to, what you can do in the moment, which is tricky. So let's say your partner is lecturing, and you notice it, you're aware of it. There's not a lot you could do in that moment if your partner's not willing to be open to a disruption. So being open to you supporting, and maybe it could look like this, like a gentle nudge, or maybe you touching your partner's arm and just, signaling that maybe we should stop the lecture. That doesn't always work depending on the dynamic with your partner. And there's some front loading that you can do ahead of that, which I explained in the call. But the other thing you could do is really go back to your child and help fill them up with wonderful words. Um, so the other thing we talked about today, and I often talk about this with my clients, is I like you to do a tally, okay? Just in a day, do a tally of how many times you correct your child, are guiding them, are telling them what to do, reminding them of this, and blah, 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 blah. Take a tally of that. And don't get me wrong, this has to happen, right? Because we're not just parents, we're substitute frontal lobes. So we do need to do this stuff. However, we also need to do the other part. So this is the other tally that I want you to take note of what you do on a daily basis. When are we encouraging? When are we telling them and acknowledging them how amazing they are with specific things that they've done or said or accomplished, whatever, just things that really lift up their spirit. How in a day, if you were to take a tally, where are these numbers? Is this one higher? Which again, for most parents it is, and understandably so. It's just building the awareness of also making this a priority in conversation and around conversation with your child. Okay. So saying something like, I love doing I know statements. So something like, I know that you are, and then say something specific. I know what I really know about you, kiddo, is that you are such a great team player, or you really are patient, or you are a loyal friend, or you are so thoughtful, or you're so kind with our dog, or something like something, an I know statement. And in the connected parenting world, we talk about it as messages of confidence and competence. So something that will help boost up their self-esteem, because don't forget, our words and our communication, whether they're lectures or whether they're words of wonderfulness for our kids, eventually become their inner dialogue. Okay, so we really want to help cultivate and boost up their self-esteem. And we need balance, right? We're not just doing this. I'm not suggesting that. Okay, remember, we are substitute frontal lobe, so we do need to do this. We need both. So just take a tally. If you're listening to this, this is an invitation for you to take a tally of how often you're doing this part, okay, the correcting, lecturing, telling them what to do, reminding them, blah, 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 and how often you're doing this part of communication, which is the acknowledgement, the I know statements, the messages of confidence and competence. So all of those things, just take a tally, okay? That's your invitation. The other thing I want to touch on, which is really important, going back to the poem and specifically the wording where he talks about the pot has beautiful sides and the emptiness inside makes it useful. And then he says, empty yourself of agenda and you will be available for your children. To me, this says two things. Number one, first of all, as a connected parent, when I teach my clients to do the calm technique. Oh, oh, sorry, just wanted to make sure. Okay. When we are doing the calm technique. All right, sorry, just some technological thing happened. Okay. We're always parking the agenda. Okay. So of course, as parents, we want to guide our children. We have lots of wisdom and knowledge to share with them, but trying to teach that in a lecture or in a downward spiral of badgering, whatever, telling our child, oh, you didn't do this again or whatever, that's not going to be the best way to get the message through to our children. Okay. So removing the agenda is going to be helpful. It's going to allow your communication to be more of a connected communication as opposed to a corrected communication. Okay. Um, so that's the first thing, and now I've lost sight of the second thing. Oh, this is the second thing, being present, being present with your kids. So when I hear, empty yourself of agenda and you will be available for your children, create space for yourself and your kids to just be. Sometimes when clients hear that from me, they're like, that's kind of weird. Yeah, I get that because we're in a very busy hustle culture. Um, but if you just do something that's so different and just really be with your kids and be present with your kids, you're creating the space for them to also just be themselves. And often kids, remember, they're always looking for an attachment. They're always looking to have our approval. Even those defiant kids, underneath that, they're looking for an attachment with us. And if we just allow our kids to be and give them the space, even if it's just 5 minutes, 10 minutes a day, we just authentically connect with them. We'll do worlds of wonders. Okay, from a even from a neurological standpoint, neurobiological standpoint, you are filling your kid up with oxytocin, with healthy dopamine. You are doing that when you have these times of connection and pause and presence. And that truly is paving the way to have a wonderfully solid relationship with your kid. Not the fastest route, not always the easiest thing to do, but trust me, you're planting the seeds for a strong foundation with your kid and good connection. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed the readings for today and the insights. If you have any questions or anything like that, please do share them. Thank you so much, and we will talk to you soon. Bye.